Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for listening to this talk. My name is Stefan, and together with my colleague, Dr. Lubomir Petrov, we conducted a study entitled Relative Hand Grip Strength is a better indicator than absolute hand grip strength for the assessment of health-related musculoskeletal fitness in children. The hand grip strength test is part of many physical fitness test batteries in children, and it has been the most widely applied field-based test to assess musculoskeletal fitness. The aim of this study was to investigate whether relative hand grip strength in children provides a better assessment than absolute hand grip strength for the evaluation of health-related musculoskeletal fitness. In our study, a total of 62 primary school children took part, 32 boys and 30 girls. They were from St. Edmund's Primary School here in London in the United Kingdom. And we measured their height and their weight, as well as two skin folds, triceps and subscapular. And we use these skin folds in order to calculate the predicted percentage of body fat based on the equations of Slaughter for children. We applied the WHO Anthroplus software, which is a software provided by the World Health Organization, in order to assess the body mass index of the children, and based on the assessment we divided the children into 4 groups that you can see on the slide. Based on the percentile score, children were assessed as healthy if they had a percentile score between 15 and 85, and those who had a percentile score of above 85, they were assessed as overweight or obese. Each participant completed the AlphaFit physical fitness test battery, which included different anthropometric measurements that I mentioned earlier, as well as fitness tests which are listed on the slide: the hand grip strength test, the standing long jump test, 4x10 meter shuttle run test, and the 20 meter shuttle run test. The relative hand grip strength was calculated as the absolute hand grip strength divided by the body weight of the participant. On the next slide, you can see the results from the health-related physical fitness tests. And first we looked at all children, regardless of their gender, and we divided them into healthy and overweight and obese based on their body mass index. The healthy children are represented in green on this slide, and the overweight and obese children are represented in red. And starting from the left side, these are the percentile scores for each of the tests. There was no statistically significant differences in the percentile scores for the hand grip strength test between the two groups. And then looking at the other tests, in all other 3 tests, the healthy children scored significantly better than the overweight and obese children. That was the case for the standing long jump test, for the 4x10 meter shuttle run test, and the 20 meter shuttle run test. But the hand grip strength test, the absolute value of this test, did not differentiate well between the children from the healthy group and those from the overweight and obese children. And that's why we looked at the relative hand grip strength. The values are shown on the right side in yellow, where we found that the children from the healthy group had a value of 0.51 versus 0.40 for the children from the overweight and obese group, and that was significantly better in favor of the healthy group. So the relative hand grip strength test here in this case showed that it can better differentiate between healthy and overweight or obese children. We also took into account the gender of the participants, We further divided the participants into 4 groups. So we first looked at the healthy girls versus the overweight and obese girls, and then we looked at the healthy boys versus the overweight and obese boys. On this slide we can concentrate on the female section. On the left side, the table represents the parameters from the body composition assessment, and you can see statistical differences between both groups, which confirms that the children from the healthy groups, they had a healthier body mass index, a percentile score of the body mass index, and a healthier percentage of body fat. On the right side, the table represents the results from the health-related physical fitness tests. And again, we can see similar results from what we've already seen from the percentile scores earlier from the previous slide. We can see that the healthy girls had a lower score in their absolute hand grip strength test in comparison with the overweight and the obese girls. We can see also a lower percentile score of the absolute hand grip strength. There were no statistically significant differences in these values. However, we didn't see better results in favor of the healthy girls. On the other hand, when we looked at the relative hand grip strength test, we can see better scores, significantly better scores in favor of the healthy girls. So we can see 0.52 versus only 0.39 in favor of the healthy girls versus the overweight and obese girls, which again better differentiated between healthy girls and overweight and obese girls. And on the next slide we can see the results from the male section. On the left side, the table represents the parameters from the body composition assessment, and on the right side we can see the results from the physical fitness tests. As you can see, the hand grip strength test, the absolute values, there were no statistically significant differences between the values of the hand grip strength as well as between the percentile scores of this parameter between the healthy boys and overweight and obese boys, and even the mean values are lower for healthy boys. So we couldn't differentiate between both groups when we looked at this parameter. However, when we looked at the relative hand grip strength, we can see a figure of 0.54, the group of healthy boys, versus 0.41 for the boys from the overweight and obese group, and that was significantly better result for the healthy boys. Again, this parameter, the relative hand grip strength, better differentiated between both groups. And then we can see the absolute values and the percentile scores for all of the other tests, the standing long jump test, the 4x10 meter shuttle run test, and the maximum oxygen uptake from the 20 meter shuttle run test. And we can see the percentile scores, which are age-specific and gender-specific scores. And we can see that all of them, we can see significantly better results in favor of the healthy boys. In conclusion, the relative hand grip strength appeared to be a better indicator than the absolute hand grip strength for the assessment of health-related musculoskeletal fitness in children. However, further research should establish percentile scores for this parameter, for the relative values of the hand grip strength test, specifically in children, in order to accurately assess their health-related muscular strength. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions or if you'd like to make any comments, please do not hesitate to contact me.